want to talk about learning from your peers. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I spent 3 full days with a group of digital CEOs. So my peers, my work is online. I mean, I do some in-person coaching, but for the most part, it's online. And how absolutely invigorating and terrifying that it was. There were folks from so many different industries. I think of you in your own business, in the town that you live in, the community that you're a part of. Do you belong to the local chamber or to a local networking event? Are you interacting with people that are doing business in the same area you are, albeit, in a different industry? I learned so much that I can apply to my business from people that work in completely different businesses, totally different. And how they set their business up is different, and how they serve their customers is different, and how they educate, how they train. Just everything is so different. Their personalities are so different. We've got those that are incredibly extroverted, those that are phenomenally spiritual and intuitive. We've got the introverts. We've got the ambiverts. It was just amazing. There were 900 people at this event, 900 attendees, plus then the staff of James Wedmore. This Business by Design is what it was. It was a live conference. And my takeaway, well, not, I had many, but one of the greatest takeaways for me, working as somebody that has an online course, I'm pretty isolated. I'm at home, I'm online. It was so energizing and invigorating to actually interact with other human beings who, in a lot of cases, are at the same stage as I am, the beginning stages. Some of them, they're making millions. Others are, they've managed to push past the 6-figure mark, and lots are under. And I got thinking of you, my audience. Who are you interacting with? Where are you getting motivation and help? What experiences are you putting in front of yourself to help you grow, to learn things? And maybe the bigger question is to learn what you don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Putting yourself in a situation where you start to question and you're curious. Well, I wonder. Well, I had that in spades. I'm going to show in the video, for those of you that are listening, go over to YouTube and watch the podcast video. I can't say I've never meditated, because I did go through an audio series. So there was a little bit of it. It's not something that I necessarily even been drawn to, but there were multiple meditations in this program I was at. And my goodness, the feelings and the things that came over my being, tears streaming down my face. It was uncomfortable. It was foreign. I mean, the logical part of my brain is going like, excuse me, what is all this about? But my inherent being is going, oh, this is so cathartic. I'm releasing all of this fear and doubt and all of these negative things, right? So there was this tussle between my logical brain and my body's vibration, let's say, or frequency. So anyway, we are doing this spoon bending meditation. Yeah, I know it's pretty out there, but here I am. And for those of you watching the video, here's the spoon. It's a stainless steel spoon. And during the meditation, there was a softening of this material, I'm going to say. I can't see it got to the rubber state that the guide was helping us as we were going through this meditation, but it definitely got soft and it got pliable. And I was absolutely blown away. And then I started looking at some people's spoons, and they were twisted and turned, and they had just become completely malleable, I think maybe is the right word, in their hands. And it was just there was a part of me that was like, how is this possible? Number one. And number two is like, oh, this is really cool. I want to try this again. I haven't tried it again. I'm going to stick with, hey, I did this and I did it once. So that was very, very interesting. Got me out of my comfort zone, but it also started me thinking about the possibilities. Prior to this, there's not a chance I could bend a spoon, right? Just by the meditative process and allowing, and then it goes like, okay, so I bent a spoon. So maybe there's things in my life and in my world that I could bend, and are they real? Aren't they real? I've always been very connected to the earth, to frequencies, to grounding. So that part of it wasn't making me uncomfortable, but I'd never actively participated in something that was connecting to the different frequencies. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was crystals. I don't know enough about crystals. Well, fact is, I don't know anything about crystals and how they operate, but the event was run by James, and he is very, very attuned to the crystal world. So I got myself some crystals, and they're going to be on my desk and they're going to focus. So I just got really thinking about all of you, and how do we find a way to entertain new thinking, entertain new thoughts? How do we open ourselves up to having our beliefs changed? I know I have resistance because the belief that I have, it's comfortable. Most of my beliefs I've had my whole life, and I kind of hang on to them. And so there's this resistance to opening up a scenario or a circumstance that would challenge those beliefs. But I found out that, yes, they were challenged, but the result or the outcome wasn't negative. It was empowering. How do you bring opportunity into your small business and into how you interact with the people on your team to bring about new beliefs, new thinking, being okay with having your beliefs, let's use the word challenged, and those beliefs not necessarily being changed, but just maybe they're being confirmed from that situation. It was really, really a cool event. And the purpose of this podcast was just to really encourage you to open up and get out there and experience different things. Get with your community. Get with the other businesses in your local area. And if there isn't anything, then invite people in. Maybe have a coffee one evening or one morning and have 3 or 4 business owners come in and start getting to know them and finding out what their experience is that you could maybe learn how to invite the experiences. And those of you, I posted today about introverts, right? I'm an introvert, therefore I can't lead people. That is a belief that a lot of introverts have, but it's based on the belief, not the fact that you're an introvert. You believe that you can't lead because you're not necessarily drawn to people. You absolutely can lead, and you can lead beautifully. You bring very different things to the leadership role. And people that are the analytical, dominant left brain, like let's say, you absolutely can lead people. People may not be your first thought or your first gravitation, but hey, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you take steps so that you can be an awesome leader. And it doesn't matter what your DNA is telling you, you can choose to take actions in a way that your team understands you love them, you care about them, you have their best interests at heart, and you see them and you hear them, that you appreciate them. That is a choice, and you're more than capable of making that choice. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an analytical person or someone that is just very free flowing and not a care in the world and doesn't do agendas and doesn't do time. And none of those things need to have a negative impact on you being able to be a phenomenal leader, on you becoming a people gardener. Think about what you could do. What can you do this week to stretch yourself and find a way to have experiences that challenge what you've been thinking about yourself and about your role and about your ability to be a small business owner who is committed to having a fabulous workplace. That's it for this week. We'll talk to you again next week.